I want to show you about processing a list, okay? And in particular, what I'm going to do is show you how to add up some numbers. And this is a classic example. I don't care what language you're programming in. One thing you learn in is how to add up numbers. It's actually pretty hard. It's not usually a first day thing you can learn. Okay. Anyway, I've defined a list called number list. It's got a bunch of numbers. Could have any numbers in it, right? And think about this is kind of dumb because the numbers are fixed, but think about like a Math Blaster educational app where the user or where you generate some random numbers, and then of course the program's got to add up those numbers so to see if the user's right with their answer. Okay, so we want to add these guys up. We want to come up with 7 plus 3, 10, 21, 26. Okay, and the way I'm going to do it is, the way you go through a list is there's this for each block, and it's in the control area, and it's called for each item in list. And this basically says I want to do something in here, and I want to do it to every item in this list. Okay, in this case, what we want to do is grab each item and add it up to a total. So you'll notice I've also defined another variable called total and started out as 0. So total is going to be like our running accumulator. Okay, and really what we want to do is every time we go through each of these items, we want to just add it to the total. Okay, so I'm going to go grab a set total, and then what I want to do is add total to add something to the total. So I'm going to say the total is equal to the previous value of total. Okay, and I want to add something to it, and what I'm going to add is this thing called item. Okay, and item is, think of it as the current item as I go through a list. Okay, so we know this for each means I'm going to go through this and loop back, in this case 4 times. But the first time I go through here, the variable item is going to be 7. Okay, the second time I go through, it's going to be 3, and so on. Okay, so every time I grab item and just add it to total. Okay, so the total starts out with 0, then it's going to be 7, and then it's going to be 7 plus 3 is 10, and then it's going to be 10 plus 11, 21, and then finally 20, 26. Okay, now I've got a button set up, so when I click this button, that's when I actually want to add these guys up. So when the button is clicked, I'm going to add all the numbers up, and then I've got this label here, so I'm just going to, once I get my result, I'm going to stick it in my label. So I want to stick the variable total when I'm done, right? So I'm going to loop through this for each 4 times, and finally when I'm done, I'm going to stick total into the label so I can actually see what happens. So I've got my phone projecting onto the screen here, and I'm going to touch the sum button. I just clicked it, and it shows the 26. Okay, so indeed we are adding up all the numbers.